I know you like to play. I know you like toys. If you want this bear, you can have this bear. What is up, guys? My name is Adam, and I am at one of the most notoriously haunted houses in the United States. This goes way back to the mid 1800s. So this was once a house of a doctor. A frantic mother kicks down this front door and is carrying her 6-year-old daughter. They take her inside. She lays the 6-year-old girl down. The little girl bleeds out and dies. That's only one of the stories of this house. There are apparently 3 spirits that still inhabit this house to freak people out. I'll get into the whole story, but this is the Sallie House haunting. So what happened at 508 North 2nd Street, Atchinson, Kansas? We'll find out. So what's the whole story here? This house was built in the mid 1800s by the Finney family. It eventually became owned by Dr. Charles Finney, who practiced medicine from his house. A woman rushes in her child. Sallie is experiencing excruciating abdomen pain. So Dr. Charles Finney concludes that her appendix is about to burst. So he lays her out on the table, gives her anesthesia, but he's in a rush to get her appendix out. So he starts the incision before the anesthesia kicks in. Sallie is screaming on the table. Eventually, the surgery goes terribly wrong, and 6-year-old Sallie bleeds out on the surgical table and dies. It's said that Sallie now haunts this house, but that's only one of the stories. There are 2 others. Apparently this spirit at this house in Kansas is not a nice spirit. It's a vengeful, angry spirit. So one theory is Sallie, and she specifically targets men, which is good for me because I'm male. She does this because that's the last thing she saw before she died. A man cutting her. The second spirit is an older woman that fell down the basement stairs and died. This old lady is said to be demonic, and she's apparently not a spirit you want to come up against. The third spirit is a teenage boy with the mind of an 8-year-old. And he likes to play. With 3 spirits in this house dating back from the 1800s, I'm hoping to come in contact with at least one of these 3 spirits. The last owners of this house moved out in 1990, and they said they'd had enough. There was doors closing, there was unexplained movement in the house, there was balls rolling on the floor, there was chairs being misplaced, but the final straw for the family was when the male owner felt a push from behind and he nearly fell down the stairs, breaking his neck. That's when they said, "We've had enough, we're out." And that's the last people to own this house. And they keep this sort of journal, the owners. Influx of activity between 10 and 11. I'm planning on trying to communicate at 10. Balls fell off, EMF crazy, temp, scratches, pushing, talking, touching. This is super creepy. Protect yourself. Say your prayers and make sure you leave without anything attached to you. Yeah, that is creepy. This is deaf haunted. We heard footsteps, doors opening. But after when the sun went down, we heard a deep growl through the bowels. We left ASAP. Be careful. We did not investigate the basement as we had many dark experiences. This place is the most intense house I have investigated. As I entered the home, a cool breeze crawled down my spine. See, yeah, that kind of stuff. Just don't buy it, you know? I could make myself feel a tingle, right? And if you're already kind of creeped out, as soon as you come through the door, you're going to feel stuff. So there's some things I'd like to make record of. It's just me. I don't have a team. I travel alone. I go to these houses alone. I do my communications alone. Just me. So if anything happens, I don't have somebody else in this house that's able to do anything. So this is where most of the communication will be, because I've been reading in this book from a lot of people. And there seems to be a lot of mentions of the kitchen, the dining room, and of the living room. And it's just a big space. This is supposedly where Sallie died. It's also a lot about the basement. It says I can't go down. I already went down once, and we'll try it again tonight. And the master bedroom. Basically, I have my single camera. I have lighting, and I have the other things I use during the communication. We do have a TV here. It does turn on, and it just kind of becomes this, or it was working. Yeah, it just says video 2. Speaker works. There's 2 clocks over here. And you know what? I could take this off and change it. Yes, of course. But I'm not going to, because I don't do any tricks for clicks. It's 420. So, yeah, somebody obviously did that. This one's at 6:45. So we've got a crucifix here. We've got the Book of Mormon. We've got a Wonder Bible. I'm not sure what that is. And we have the King James Holy Bible. Let's see, we'll go upstairs. I'm going to leave this light on too. Upstairs might not have many lights on. Okay, we'll leave that. You know what? I will leave this on. This would be the master bedroom. So we've got that little kind of trinket there. We've got the parrot here. There's been some mentions about the parrot. So let's see what's up with this parrot. So people have been calling this Sallie's room. Sallie didn't live here. So they've kind of made this Sallie's room, which is fine. She perished here, but she was brought here. So let's just make some notes. I'm just kind of looking at the formation of all of them. Let's see what this ball is on. My reply is no. Okay, let's just leave that. So that says my reply is no. Let's just leave that magic 8 ball like that. In order for this to have a new message, someone would have to move it, right? This is sort of the makeup of the dolls. Kansas City Chief football, fair enough. Yan dog, a feather in the middle. The bear's riding the horse. We got this really kind of creepy baby there. So some religious items there, maybe some angels. Let's look at the kind of makeup of this stuff. Just to get it on film. And yeah, I get it. I could come up here and change all kinds of things. I'm not going to. Bathroom. Let's leave this light on too. Let's leave lights on. See if they come turned off. It's the guest room. Let's turn that light on too. So there's a couple areas where people report having bad feelings, and I've already gotten into the whole bad feeling thing. I just don't buy it. I think people make themselves feel that way. But the bad feelings are from the master bedroom. So this will be a place that I'll be interested about tonight. And the closet too. A lot of reports of feeling really nauseous in here. Some people wrote, in fact, that they felt so terrible up here, they had to go downstairs. So. And also, remember, some of these could be written by friends of the owner of this house, to hype up the house. And the story of Sallie itself could be made up. When I was researching this, there was one notation that said it was made up by the mayor of Atchinson, Kansas, to try and get more tourism. So I just wanted to make a note. So it's not even 7. But there's noise from the basement. It's just water or like the old heating system. But it's interesting anyways, because Come in here. This is the basement. And remember, the demonic spirit died in the basement. So, warning, no entry beyond this point. See, it's just that. Old heating space, you know? That might be the growling too that people hear. It's this whirlpool. Kind of creepy though, huh? Just underneath the house. But one of my guesses is that's the growling that people have reported. Hearing. Yeah, it's still light out. I do wonder why they put that up. My guess is for scare value, you know? It's all just ways to get in people's heads to creep them out, right? No, that's what I think at least. But I think that could be the growling that some people are reporting. This is the attempted communication between myself and any spirits or entities that may be living in this home. I am at the Sallie House at 508 North 2nd Street in Atchinson, Kansas. This communication will have 5 parts. The first part will simply be me trying to connect to any spirit that may be in here. The second, I'll be using a voice recording device to try and communicate with any entities. The third, I'll be using a silver bell as a means to try and see if there's any entities here. 4, I will use my REM pod to see if I can detect any motion or big temperature changes in this house. And 5th, I will use a Ouija board as a channel to try and communicate with any entities. This will be the first phase, simply trying to reach out to any spirit that may be here. My name is Adam. I am here to try and communicate with any spirit or entity that may be in this home. If any spirit or entity can hear my voice, show me you are here. You can do anything. You could turn on the TV. You could turn on the stereo. I've placed a ball on a chair. You could move the ball. You could flicker the lights. You could growl. Again, my name is Adam. I am in this home trying to communicate with any spirit or entities that may be here. Maybe you're a teenage boy. Maybe your name is Sally. Maybe you're an old woman. Fell down the stairs. Died tragically. Maybe you don't want me here. Maybe you don't want me to know you're here. Show me anyways. Again, you may turn on the TV. You may flicker a light. You may move a ball. You may growl. Guests here have said they heard a growl coming from the basement. Phase 2. I will be using a recording device to try and communicate with anyone in this house. My name is Adam. I am seeking to communicate with any entity that may be in this room. If you can hear my voice, please speak into the silver box that I am placing down on the chair right now. What is your name? How did you die? Am I safe here? Do you wish I would leave? I'll now play the messages.
My name is Adam. I am seeking to communicate with any entity that may be in this room. If you can hear my voice, please speak into the silver box that I am placing down on the chair right now. I would leave.
No results from phase 2. Phase 3, I'll be using a silver bell to see if I can communicate with any entity in this home. I am placing a silver bell in the middle of this room. If there are any entities in this room, let it be known by ringing the bell. It's a silver bell with a black handle. Again, if you hear my voice, any entities in this house, let your presence be known by ringing the bell. It's a silver bell with a black handle. I'm leaving the bell where it is for now and moving on to phase 4, my REM pod. I'm going to first set my REM pod so that you know it's working properly. I'm going to do temp 0, EMF range. All of them are lit up, so from any side, the pod is working. Any entities that might be in this house, you don't need to speak. You don't need to do anything. You'll see a red light on the ground. It's in between the kitchen, the dining room, and the living room. If you hear my voice, Can you come towards the voice? Can you come towards me? Can you come near the red light on the ground? Any entities that may be in this room. You don't need to speak. You don't need to move objects. You just need to walk towards my voice if you are coming from upstairs. Please come towards my voice now. Phase 5. I'll be using my Ouija board as a channel to try and connect with any spirits that may be in this home. The REM pod is still here, but I'm going to move it between the doorway from the kitchen to the dining room. Still works. The bell, I'm going to move onto the kitchen table. It sensed the temperature change, but that could be drafts in between. I'm more interested in movement. I am going to set the range again though. Full range. And I'm setting it back to 0. If you can hear my voice, I've set up a Ouija board. It's a board in the middle of the living room. If you can hear my voice, please move the beige arrow anywhere on the Ouija board. You can move it to yes. You can move it to no. You could simply move it from its position where it is. Again, if you're an entity and you can hear my voice, please indicate that you're here by moving the beige arrow on that Ouija board. That concludes the phases for the living room, dining room, and kitchen. I will now set up on the second floor. I'm leaving to go check some things out. It's going crazy. Absolutely crazy. You know why? My pod was just going crazy. You know why? It was in front of a vent. That's it. Blowing air coming in. That's all it was. I do want to record this room while I'm gone though. So, leaving this on. This is my second attempt to reach out to any entities that may still occupy this home. This attempted communication will have 4 parts. The first part will be just a general trying to communicate with any spirit or entity that may be upstairs. The second, I will use a voice recording device to try and communicate with any entities. Third, I'll use a silver bell as a means to try and reach out to any entities. Fourth, I'll use my REM pod to try and detect any motion upstairs. We'll start with phase 1. My name's Adam. If there's any entities upstairs in this home, please let your presence be known. You can do anything. You could turn off and on a light. You could move that ball. You could open that box. You could close a door, open a door, move a pillow. You could touch me. Maybe your name is Sallie. Maybe you're a teenage boy. Maybe you're an elderly woman that died in a very tragic way. Again, let your presence be known. I'm trying to communicate with you. Can you close that door? Can you move the ball outside? It's in the hallway. Can you move a doll in Sally's room? Phase 2. People have reported bizarre feelings near here. I'm going to open it up. Sally's room is over there. The upstairs is here. There's a closet here. This is the master bedroom. There are lots of ways in and out. My name is Adam. I'm seeking to reach out and communicate with anybody that is in this house. If you can hear this voice, please speak into the silver box that I'm placing down right now. What is your name? How did you die? Should I be scared? Do you want me to leave?
My name is Adam. I'm seeking to reach out and communicate with anybody that is in this house. If you can hear this voice, please speak into the silver box that I'm placing down right now.
Phase 3, silver bell. I'm reaching out to any entity that may be upstairs that can hear my voice. If you can hear my voice, please let it be known by ringing the silver bell on the ground. It has a black handle. Again, if there's any entities upstairs in this home, Dr. Charles, an elderly woman, Stephen, Sally, teenage boy, please ring the bell. Phase 4, the REM pod. I'll reset the REM pod so that everything is how it should be. Temperature 0. If EMF range, I'm going to set to 0 and then set it on all 4 directions. So, any motion, any changes in temperature, I believe it's 5 degrees. Any entities that may be upstairs. You don't need to say anything, you don't need to move anything. If you can hear my voice, all you need to do is walk towards me right now. Again, if there are any entities here and you can hear my voice, you don't need to say anything, you don't need to touch anything. You just need to walk near me. Can you please walk towards me? I know you like to play. I know you like toys. If you want this bear, you can have this bear. I'm not sure if you can see that, but my REM pod is going crazy. I've never seen it do this before. Who is that? It seems there's something wrong with the pot. Hold that. It's the pod. It's the pod. Sally, if you want this bear, you can have it. You'll need to move it in some way. Sally, do you want the bear? Any entity in this house that hears my voice, let yourself be known now. You could ring the bell. You could move the ball. You could flicker a light. Close the door. Open that little box. You can do anything. So it was more or less the middle of the night, but it's because people have reported things until like 3 a.m. I'm going to go around the house. So, first in here. I did that, and I left that on. But it's just nothing moved, nothing changed. Right? It's exactly how we had it. Okay. Ball still's at the top of the stairs. I didn't do anything to this room because nobody reported anything in this room. So I just got it. Tea party seems to be exactly how I left it. Just in each one of those. I don't remember how these stuffed animals were, but my reply is still no. So I can close this. Sally? Sally? Paul's still there. Oh, truck. Yep, truck's still there. Baby's the same. TV's off. Radio's off. I left that there. I left that on. That's the page I left it on. That still says 420. Crucifix. Exactly where it should be. I left that light on. Father Christmas is the same. Those chairs are exactly the same how they were. There's 3 of them. That was making noise last time I was here. Nothing. So I'm in a location not having anything to do with Atchinson, Kansas, or the Sallie House. I haven't taken out my REM pod since the Sallie House. And I thought something was wrong with my REM pod because it was going crazy. This is 2 days after. I'm now in Story, Indiana. This is a whole nother haunted story. But I do want to point one thing out. So I took my REM pod out and I thought I would have to research on how to put it back together or make sure that it was functioning properly because it was not functioning properly at the Sallie House. I didn't do anything to it. I took the pod out of my backpack and I came here. I expected to turn the pod on and that it would do exactly what it was doing in the Sallie House. It seems there's something wrong with the pod. It's on. And it is functioning. You can see the red light in the center. It is functioning perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with this REM pod. Look, I'll even do the temp 0. Let's do EMF range. Make sure all 4 are on. Nothing. So let's check that it works. Now, I'm not saying this is proof that there was paranormal activity at the Sallie House, but that's strange. That's all. I'm just saying it's strange. It could have been a lot of things that were making the REM pod go crazy. The electric currents going through the house, whatever. I'm still not a believer, but it's strange because my REM pod is 100% fine. I'll see you in the next video.